We just kick things off like this. It's live from Launcharts. So welcome everybody. This is a new podcast from Launcharts Media. I want to start off by saying that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the authors, the host, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Launcharts Media. Any content provided by our bloggers, our authors, are the opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything or any noun or any person, place, or thing. I just added that last part. Anyone or anything. So, not connected to Launcharts Media as a brand, but we will plug this for Launcharts Media. Attention small businesses and brands, social summer. We want to plug this promotion. Launcharts Media brings you a special promotional offer. Receive social media management through the summer months for only $2.99. That's daily posts, content curation, branded graphics, and stock and branded videos. Get your small business notice because vision generates business. Visit launcharts.com for more details. Now let's get into this. So Live from Launcharts is an opinionated news and culture talk-based podcast. Available in live stream and recorded across all social media. This is Simiatu.
Hello.
I'm Jamar. And we are the captains of the boat. How you doing today, Simiatu?
I'm doing good. Feel good.
Everything good. It's summertime.
Yes.
I'm summertimed out. Skin tan, hair long. That's a Drake line. I need to get my hair cut. I'm doing this and I need a haircut. And that's just the way of the world. We got Harrison in the back there. Harrison, how you doing today?
Doing good.
Harrison is working with us and doing technical production. And any sort of technical difficulties in this first episode is not his fault or our fault or anybody's fault, just the equipment's fault. So we're blaming the equipment on that. So what we're going to do on this is kind of just touch on certain topics. Whether it be current events, whether it be news, culture, whether it be lifestyle, sometimes a little politics, sometimes things get blurred. In 2021, I think things get blurred. What do you think?
You said things get blurry?
Blurry, like in terms of what's political, what's lifestyle, what's fun news versus what is serious news. I feel like in 2021, things are more blurry than ever.
I think people are not really paying attention. We're so caught up in getting the money that stuff about the news, anything that's on the news that's not about the money, we really don't care about. I think everybody's conversation right now is stimulus checks, the student loan repayments, payoffs, like where they just eliminate all of our student loans. Those are the conversations that I'm seeing.
And you can't forget PPP. It's a whole
and PPP, a lot of that going on as well.
If it ain't about the money.
Yeah, I don't think people are concerned with politics or the politicians or the laws and all that. I think folks are just tired of hearing people talk and then they don't execute. But as we've seen for like the last year, they've executed with money. Mm-hmm. So that's our focus.
Money is the major issue, the motivation.
Mm-hmm.
I can't argue with that. So we'll hit on 3 topics today. And they range from world news, and we'll give you a little teaser on that. We're going to bring some awareness to a vaccine shortage on the continent of Africa. We'll talk a little music, but I feel like it's music and tech, where we're going to touch on the sudden resurgence in vinyl records. But we will start with what transcends everything, and it's still on a personal note, the world reopening. It's a personal note for everybody. So we are in June of 2021 at the time of this recording. And I know in the state of Ohio, because Launcharts Media hails from the jewel of Cleveland, Ohio. In the state of Ohio, things are officially unrestricted as of June 2nd.
No masks.
So we've been like a week into it. I still see a lot of people with masks.
June 2nd was the date
that... the lift.
Oh, yeah. That's the word I was thinking. I was just going to say it. But yeah, June 2nd. I'm still wearing my mask.
I mean, maybe it's a force of habit, What's your opinion on wearing masks? I mean, if you still wear it, I know I still wear it. My opinion on it is just be a little safer, just better safe than sorry.
I think I've grown accustomed to doing that. I'll say that. But also because I'm not vaccinated, I think it's important to just keep wearing my mask. Because it's not like, I know folks are getting their cards, but it's not like it becomes like, have some folks that have medical issues, they have the bracelets or the stamps or whatever the case. Unless you have people just walking around with their card on display, you don't know who's vaccinated.
Right.
Who's
That's
not.
a whole thing. Because now it's like an honor system.
Mm-hmm.
And I always equate any sort of categorization or division to a Dr. Seuss book called Starbelly Stitches, whatever they call it. I think it's Starbelly Snitches. I think it's before the word snitch became bad. And attitudes change when you label one group from another. And that's immediately what came to mind when I started hearing about, okay, you can have a proof of vaccine card. And then it kind of counteracted with saying that, well, it's just an honor system. If you've been vaccinated, you don't have to wear your mask. If you haven't been vaccinated, you should wear your mask. But then that might alienate people who still wear masks. Mm-hmm. But I know a lot of people are vaccinated and still wear masks. So
I think I heard that you can still get sick, though. You can still catch the COVID. So.
And there are variants, and there are different mutations of it. Mm-hmm. So
I think we thought that the heat would mutate it and kill it or something.
Yeah, I think we heard
that.
It would be better.
That didn't happen.
In warmer months because of that. And that was like the early myth last summer, and people went out and started tripping.
Yeah, have fun.
They went out and started tripping.
House
and
party.
There was another resurgence. So here we are, another summer. This is crazy. The COVID pandemic, as it were, has covered 2 summers. But I tell you what, even this summer, I plan on going to some public places. What about you?
Me too. I have already started booking up my weekends to be out and about, traveling. Yeah, I will not allow this pandemic to have me in fear. Even when it first started and stay in the house, then no. I mean, I don't go many places anyway, but I wasn't about to be afraid. Just take precautions.
Right.
And the reality is we really couldn't take precautions. Like going to the grocery store, there's no such thing as like being 6 feet apart. Unless you just do 5 people in your store at a time, because nobody could really.
I've seen people do that. I've seen like some shops have somebody stand by the door though. I booked tickets. Me and the family were going to SmackDown.
Well, that sounds like fun.
They open up arenas. My daughter's like one of the biggest wrestling fan now, and I have a lot of doing with that. I know it. I'm not opposed to going to a concert. Like I said, I'll just try to keep my distance as I did prior to that. But I just really feel like, it's like, people are vaccinated in a nice, small, well, I won't say small majority, but a large minority has been vaccinated. 40%
they were asking for,
So now it's just time to just like live life again. So I don't know if things feel back to normal yet.
It's going to be a new normal.
There you go. Coining that phrase.
No old normal.
We'll move on from that. Everybody out there, just stay as safe as you can.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Stay as safe as you can. Have faith. I have a friend who always said, keep the faith. God bless her. I know she has some hardships.
We're masks and make you happy too.
Absolutely. Now, I wanted to label this tech news, but it's been a long time since this format was considered high technology. Vinyl records. An article by the Associated Press is just one of the many articles that has kind of touched on this. I know myself, I was in a Walmart a couple of months ago and I saw a whole aisle for records. And I thought that I was having like a flashback from when I was like 3 or something like that. And just, I'm in my 30s and they were getting laughed at even then because it was more like the tape era when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say laughed at, but just antiquated. It's just like this is outdated unless you were a DJ. So vinyl records are making a comeback. And the question I want to ask is, do you think it can last?
I'll say yes. You have a lot of shops that actually still have vinyl records. And you got a lot of folks that probably have vinyl records in their house in crates. I remember growing up, my mom had a set of vinyl records in a crate in a closet. She rarely played them, but I did because I was just curious like that. And we had a vinyl record player. So it's like, what's the purpose of having them if you're not going to use them? I think the music quality was beautiful.
Right.
You can't manipulate them.
No,
That's the thing. So just thinking about, because I see streaming is being mentioned on our paper. I think about how I'm a big advocate for, say it SoundCloud, and I can tell like when different people upload stuff, how it sounds different. So I really can't. I like to play music in my car. I got sounds and everything, and I can tell how it's some sound good and then some sound garbage depending on how they uploaded it.
No, it's true.
Did they like take their phone or whatever and put it up to something else to upload it? So I think because you can't manipulate a vinyl record, that's the safe way to go.
So look, I'm torn because I'm only torn because I want to use a term like that, like a lot of people try to use now, like the ergonomics of it all is you have to have a plate of a format, and you have to have multiple plates of a format in order to play records. Like the whole purpose of a CD was like we can put more music on it and it's compact. But the reason I'm not going to say no, the comeback won't last is because of what you mentioned. It's like that sound is it can't be. It hasn't been topped. Like the vinyl, that sound that you get a vinyl, it's been attempted to be like replicated and things of that nature. But there's a true fact to when you do copies of like even MP3s. Everything from the original copy is just a step down from it. And I like, I think I have an old soul, so I don't mind things hanging around, like old school things.
But nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun, right. No ideas original. I personally felt awful when I saw DJ turntables go digital. I'm like, what is that? That's not even like, that's
not the same.
Now I kind of caught up to it and saw, it's all about like loading more music. So I think what we're going to see is people stick to like a vinyl look, but the, one record will probably hold somebody's whole catalog. Now look at that. I don't even know if that was thought of in the boardroom yet, but I just gave it away. So let this be timestamped.
You said it here first.
This is the first place you heard it. If somebody else tops it, then they don't owe me anything.
Right.
But I think you could put somebody's whole catalog on a single vinyl record, and then you're in business.
Somebody attempted.
Yeah, hey, run me them chips. Send me that money. Okay. So yeah, I think that was a nice, refreshing conversation on music. Before we get to something that steps into the world of world politics / I want to say health, world health, and humanity, human rights, things of that nature. So in Africa, continent of Africa, there is a shortage of the COVID vaccine as of the time of this recording. As we kind of search for topics to discuss, those were like the boosted headlines. So this is just an attempt to spread the awareness towards a demographic that follows and listens to content coming out through Launcharts Media. So the quick statistic is for some of the top nations in Africa, in South Africa, which is the most robust economy in Africa, it has the biggest coronavirus caseload. Just 0.8 of the population is fully vaccinated. So we just finished saying that in the United States, 40% of the population is vaccinated. I'm not sure that's fully, but vaccinated. And in Nigeria, which is Africa's biggest country, and we'll get to, your roots to Nigeria, right? Africa's biggest country with more than 200 million people. 200 million people, that's what, more than two-thirds of the United States. Only 0.1 are fully protected, meaning fully vaccinated. And then there's another stat for Kenya, 50 million people is even lower. Uganda has recalled doses from rural areas because it doesn't have nearly enough to fight outbreaks in big cities. So a couple talking points we want to talk about here. I think it'll be more productive if we focus in on what's being done to kind of aid on a world stage. Are the richer countries hoarding the vaccine? And I'll kick off to say, I'm not sure if they're hoarding it, but they're mismanaging it. Because you hear about a lot of cities or markets or whatever you want to call it, states, if you pay attention to the news, having to throw out shipments because the demand is lowering. So a lot of cities, so we've gotten 40%. We might edge out 50 by the end of the summer, but the other 50% of Americans are on the fence.
Definitely.
Therefore, we throw out a lot of vaccines. I think there should be some sort of system worked out where before these things expire, we get it to countries who need it first, rather than deal with an opinionated portion of the population. That's my thing. Do you think richer countries are hoarding the vaccine? So I talked about the United States, but we could talk about other like G7 nations, and most of them are European. And what do you think about hoarding? You think enough is being done?
So unfortunately, in healthcare, it's all about money, and once again, politics is a part of it. So I don't think richer countries are hoarding it, but I think we have quicker ways, and we're all in agreement that, hey, there is a certain amount of people who want to get vaccinated and have access to the locations of where they're going to vaccinate the people. So just that I took a short trip to Lagos, Nigeria.
Because you are.
I am Nigerian. Father's whole side. It was a lot of poor parts, and there was just like one island that seemed like the richer suburb we'll say that. So you have to think about, so who can they trust to give the vaccines to without having any type of war? Because unfortunately, this is dealing with healthcare. Whoever controls, I'm gonna use the word wealth. They're going to use it to their advantage. So you have to deal with people trying to steal the vaccine. I just know, like, traveling into Nigeria, you want to make sure they always talk about make sure your luggage is not tampered with. So you have a lot of that coming in and going out. Everybody is not honest. It bothers me to hear that, but
that's
it's the truth.
Everywhere.
It is.
That's anywhere and everywhere.
I had to come to terms with that because I used to be kind of get offended when folks just talk about Africa. Like, I've never been there, but they got a lot to say. But I don't think it's a sense of hoarding. It's just, who can we trust to say, hey, we have this for you. Where can we set up shop? And how can y'all market it? That's another thing. Like, you see vaccination signs.
That's true.
All over the place, on TV, on the radio. Just once again, going to Lagos, Nigeria. Internet services, electric services are not great. My father was just gone for like 6 months, and he said he couldn't get through because they turn off the electricity on and off. They got to have generators and stuff like that. So it's a sense of being able to trust them to do what they said they're going to do with it, and not try to be like a gang and say, well, we got this, and if you want it, you're going to have to do A, B, C, D, E.
So there's a lot of I want to say bureaucratic corruption in some of the nations.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yes.
So I think that kind of leads in, like, one of the last points we'll have on this is, like, so the Africa or different dignitaries and delegates have called on the G7, which are the top most powerful or wealthiest nations, to assist. United States has already jumped on board,
of course,
and the headline of that is all to avoid a moral catastrophe. So the way I translate that is
they owe them.
Oh yeah, what? You said it even better than I would have said it.
They owe them. You ain't got no choice. Like,
the G7 are the richest nations, but I would say that many of the African nations that are considered poor third world are the most wealthiest in terms of natural resources.
Definitely.
So a lot of times, a lot of these richer nations kind of spooled their wealth from these countries that are now kind of on your own, or they have corrupt governments running them. You know what? For this particular topic, I think 100% they should be assisting. 100%.
Yes.
But going forward, the on a world stage, the pandemic it's a reset button.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that a lot of these nations, you go to Nigeria, you go to South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether they aren't as I guess steadily advanced or modernized, they are booming cities.
Yeah.
They're booming metropolis, large populations, a lot of potential and a lot of culture already there. You go to
opposite of what we see on TV.
The total opposite of what we see on TV. And pretty much aligned with basically everything out of the G7.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not G7, most of your big cities in South America, most of your big cities, even in Eastern Europe or things of that nature, or I want to say like toward the Middle East, they have their issues, but they have a lot of infrastructure already.
Right.
So I think it's on the G7, just like, I won't get too socioeconomic, but just like it's on the wealthiest 1% in the United States to start to kind of lift everybody else up. I think it's
we got you.
I think it's on the G7 to like you said, it's a payback.
Mm-hmm,
it's a payback in order to give everybody that equal leveling. So we'll end it there. But we touched on a couple of good subjects, and I'm happy with this conversation. You have any
I am as well.
Closing remarks to me out too?
No, let's just do this. We can do this again.
We'll do this again.
It's our first time. So yeah.
Right. So one last time I want to plug on behalf of Launcharts Media, the social summer promotion, attention small businesses and brands. Launcharts Media brings you a special promotional offer. You will receive social media management through the summer of 2021 for the price of $2.99. And I will mention in this time, this offer ends June 30th. That's daily post, content curation, branded graphics, and stock branded videos. Get your small business notice. Vision generates business. Visit launcharts.com for more details. That's going to do it for myself, Jamar, and Semiatu. And we hope that you will like, subscribe, and share, and tune in next time for us.